taking on Tom Brady and the London Black Knights.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the London Black Knights and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Londoners, they come in riding high. Just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And all the way down to the 29. A huge play there right off the bat. 46 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking back to the air on second down, it's Brady. Got a man open, it's Ross. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
At the 9.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week, as they won going into that, and no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them, because there's a trust factor that goes into this, because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
Eagles, nothing.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will make it into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. So here come the Eagles for their initial possession of the game. They will be led out by the former Heisman a handful to contain. Lamar Jackson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Max Crosby in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
Jackson's pass intended for Jackson.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. So back-to-back games here of great production and just, his cuts. They're so quick last week and this week.
That comes from confidence, I think. He understands what the defense is trying to do, but I think he has so much belief in his offensive line that he's just saying, the block's going to be there. I'm not worried about it. And we saw that last week. In fact, they were so good last week on the flight home. I actually plugged in the game and watched the offensive line play one more time. I was so impressed by them. And they're carrying it over to this week. And, of course, when you got a big-time runner behind them, that's a pretty good combination.
Doesn't hurt. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they said? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
On play action, it's Brady. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there. Turns over with the football already being in the red zone. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the gun, Jackson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A loss of 2.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Big play coming here. It's third and goal.
Third and goal.
Jackson from the shotgun. He may try and run for this.
Number 8, Lamar Jackson on the keeper. Brought down just shy of the goal line. A gain of 3 yards. Brings up fourth and goal.
And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on fourth and goal. They'll run with Penny. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They're turned away on fourth and goal. And the ball will go over on the goal line stand.
Brendan, let's file this play away for later. Let's note this play because, to me, it's not out of the question that the decision to pass up the 3 there could come back to haunt them later on.
J.K. Dobbins.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
First carry now for A.J. Dillon. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line.
A.J. Dillon.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first.
A gain of 4. And it's third.
They give to Dillon out of the gun. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
8-yard pickup. First down, Black Knights.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Flushed out right. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. On play action, now Brady. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Rashad Penny, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Rosas good with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So they'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
13 yards. First down, London.
Now Dobbins. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 11 more on that one and another first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
48-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Brady. Over the middle, complete. It's Norton. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
A 28-yard gain. And a London first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Second quarter now, and it's London with the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. These two teams all tied after one. That is caught inside the 5. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Dillon. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. They'll try and pound it in with Dillon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Jalen Reagor with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A 10-play drive that time.
14. Eagles 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
At their own 20.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
A gain of 2.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
That's taken on the 25. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Play action. Now it's Brady. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here.
Brady on the keeper.
Tom Brady flashing the mobility, scrambling there for a first down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, and his first carry of the game right there, he had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Now a play fake. Brady. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 21. That's a 3rd down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
At the 20-yard line.
On 2nd and 9. Brady. This will be caught inside the 10.
Brady's pass.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Number 89.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troop.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Rosas now to add the PAT. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
London about set to take over on offense.
And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And a London first down.
From the gun, it's Dillon.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
A.J. Dillon.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
To the 49-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Off the play fake. Brady. Open man is Ross, complete. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. John Ross, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to take the lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. A drive there of just 4 plays.
Eagles 14.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25.
Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The throw there finding its way to Boyle. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Gain of 7.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
At the 30-yard line.
From the gun, Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Perkins. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Again, Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with a touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football, and open up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Roses to add the extra point. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. Run that came from Lamar Jackson. Into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Brady now on first down. And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Able to get there and pick it. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the gun, Jackson on the crossing route, complete. It's Boyd. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there and a first down.
And at the 12-yard line.
Jackson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he's brought down.
Rashad.
It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Jackson will throw again. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Tyler Boyd in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles have moved out in front. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And they will take a 7-point lead. Fielded right around the 8. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
First down and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. Second half begins with a run from Penny, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And that, not a sight you want to see. Rashad Penny very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Operating from the gun, Jackson. He's going to take off with it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And Howard stopped short. He didn't get there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll take over 1st down and 10 at their own 20.
The spotlight now focuses on the quarterback, and that's Tom Brady. We will see here that he's done quite a bit, but the bottom line, I guess, partner, it hasn't been enough right now.
And let's face it, everyone wants to be in a spotlight, but when you're not winning, that's not quite as much fun, because that's the bottom line, especially if you're a quarterback. Did you lead your team to a victory? No matter how many passes you threw, completed, all of that, that's what he wants to get done.
So far, he does at least have some good highlights to take home with him. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense just came up with a stop right out of the locker room, and now can the offense take advantage?
Yeah, we don't want to turn this into something that it's not. It's only a one-score game, so it's not exactly a crucial possession. But at the same time, they'd like to get things started and at least come away with 3 points.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run with Dillon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Jabril Peppers. A gain of 11 on the play. 1st down, London.
Off play action. Brady sliding out of the pocket. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And some space here. 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Brady. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
1st and goal.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. They'll run with Dobbins. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out 1st downs and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short.
And it's caught. Touchdown.
Brady's pass complete to
Jalen Reagor with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
25-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Dexter Lawrence. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson, they'll roll him out right. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Aaron Donald. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Fielded at the 20. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Off the play fake, Brady. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They do go for it. It's Brady. Got a man open. It's Ross. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And his guys are going to take the lead. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives. Just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He juked him, and he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. If they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Oh, we're always talking about the athleticism we see from these guys on the field. How about the intelligence as well? He recognized that there was a screen pass on that one, broke off his pass rush, and got back to tackle the running back. That's great scouting and great reaction.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That 3rd down conversion, good for 23.
You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we've seen both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me.
At the 31-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson to Jefferson on the slant. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
10 at the 13-yard line.
Out of the gun, this is Howard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the Eagles are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Try to punch it in with Howard. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They'll try to run this one in. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup.
36 on the carry.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Third and goal, Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nick Boyle, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
25-yard line.
London about set to take over on offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. The drive will commit. With a run by J.K. Dobbins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's Akers. And he powers his way up past the 30.
Akers, the ball.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
A gain of 9 yards. First down, London.
On play action, it's Brady. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 44, Brady, and quickly finding Rager.
Brady's pass.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Off play action, Brady. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
It's 3rd down.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. This ball complete to Rager. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On first down, Dobbins. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
first and
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 2nd down, Dillon. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A.J. Dillon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to take the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite. But the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
This will make it into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. He'll try and run it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a 1st down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Could be some contact going on.
And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
But sometimes, Brandon, it's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us big 3rd down conversion. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Brady. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon.
And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Brady will take a knee here, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
Today's final score, Black
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitors, they're setting themselves up as a major contenders. They move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, it's just their second loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what?